Hi everybody, this is Emily and welcome to my homestead and week 6 of the Three Rivers Challenge. Last week we went grocery shopping for the first time and I purchased some more onions and some green peppers, and we're getting these chopped up for dinner tonight. I'm only going to use about half of this green pepper. I'm going to put half of this one and the other two I purchased into a freezer bag for later use once they're diced up. I'm also mincing up some garlic to go in the dish tonight, and we are making dirty rice. I'm adding the green peppers and onions to the ground beef, and I'll cook those until they're tender. Then add the garlic, a can of black beans, and some rice, and a whole lot of spices. Now you can put in a Cajun seasoning mix if you have that, but I don't have that. So I'm doing garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, paprika, a little bit of cayenne pepper, salt and pepper, getting that all mixed up together. I decided it needed a little bit more water so it didn't stick to the pan while everything simmered together. And this was enough to feed us for 2 dinners. For the next meal, I'm chopping up some potatoes to make some French fries. I got an air fryer for Christmas, and we're going to make the French fries in that. Just slice the potatoes up evenly. We like to keep the skins on for our French fries. And then I will get these tossed in some olive oil with some salt. Now we're going to get the air fryer preheating. And while that's preheating, I'm going to go ahead and chop up an onion. We're going to have hamburgers tonight, and I like to have sauteed onions to top my hamburgers with. And now the air fryer is preheated, and I decided to go ahead and dump all the potatoes in there at once. I thought I would just give this a try. You have to turn it over about halfway through cooking time. And I do not recommend doing this. I recommend putting them in a single layer and doing several batches. That has worked well in the past. I needed to do 2 full rounds to get those potatoes finished. You can see I cooked up some hamburger patties with those onions I had sliced earlier. After I removed the hamburgers from the pan, I went ahead and let the onions saute a little bit longer so they could get nice and tender. I had made a no-knead hamburger bun recipe earlier in the day, and these were nice and cooled off so that I could slice them up for our dinner. They were very delicious, however they were a little more firm than a store-bought hamburger bun. We have stopped buying hamburger buns from the store because they contain barley, and that is one of the foods that I cannot eat. So I'm still looking for a good soft recipe that I can make to replace that. The next night we have one of the biggest chickens that was in our freezer. I got it out to make a roasted chicken. While it had been in the refrigerator for 3 days by this time, it unfortunately was still partially frozen. So once I got it into the casserole dish, I realized this and decided that we're just going to have to do something else for this night's dinner. So I pulled out the plastic wrap and covered the chicken and got that stuck in the refrigerator, and we'll just pull it back out tomorrow and try again. This had been quite the day already, and I was pretty tired at this point. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And I had to come up with a new meal idea. So I got out a pound of ground beef and tossed that in a pan. I usually try to get it out ahead of time to thaw, but we needed food and I just threw it in completely frozen with some onions and green peppers and some garlic. Once the ground beef was all cooked down and I drained the grease, I added in a can of tomato paste and got that mixed in to coat everything very well before adding in the rest of the ingredients. Now we're going to do a can of tomatoes and some spices, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, chili powder, some cayenne pepper, some parsley, basil, oregano, and get that all mixed in and let it simmer. And we are going to serve that with the leftover hamburger buns from the night we had hamburgers and have sloppy joes. So now we are back to that chicken. Thankfully it is completely thawed now and we can get it covered in the spice rub that I had made the day before and get it baking in the oven. I like to pull the skin away from the breast to get the spice rub underneath the skin, and then I also rub the spice rub all over the outside of the chicken. This spice rub had garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, salt, and brown sugar in it. For some of you watching, baking an entire chicken may seem a little bit overwhelming, but it's actually a fairly easy thing to do. Get yourself a good digital thermometer that you can stick in there, set it and forget it, basically, until the timer goes off that says you've reached temperature. And so this, while it seems daunting, is actually an easy meal as long as I have thought ahead of time to get the chicken out and defrosted. So with this meal tonight, we're going to have the last of the potatoes we had in the house. I'm getting these peeled so that we can have some potato salad. Typically, potato salad is something that I make mostly in the summertime. However, my youngest child has been asking for some deviled eggs, and I thought, hey, while I'm hard-boiling eggs, I will go ahead and hard-boil some for some potato salad as well. So this will be a good addition to our roasted chicken tonight. Once I get all these potatoes peeled, we're going to get them washed off and then chopped up and into a pan of water that will go on the stove and boil. And while that is boiling, I also have a pan of water simmering for the hard-boiled eggs. I've got as many eggs as will fit in that pan, washed and ready to go in. And we definitely do not need this many eggs for dinner tonight, or even the snack that my youngest child has been asking for. But it's always nice to have hard-boiled eggs in the fridge on hand for a nice snack or a breakfast or lunch. The next thing we need for our potato salad is some minced onion. I'm going to mince up maybe a third of this onion very finely. You don't want a big piece of onion in your potato salad because this is going to go in raw. I will get the rest of that onion chopped up in a regular dice and put in a container to use later for another meal. Once the potatoes are done cooking, I cool them off in some cold water. You do not want to put hot potatoes in your potato salad, and the same goes for the eggs. They go into an ice bath after they're done cooking. Now here are the eggs. They're so beautiful, and we really only need 2 of them for this recipe, and they peel beautifully with this method. They're actually steamed, not hard-boiled. Farm fresh eggs tend to do a lot better with this steaming method than with a typical hard-boil method. I've got the potatoes, onions in this bowl, and I'm adding a diced egg. And then we're going to add sweet pickle relish, some mayonnaise, and yellow mustard. And my youngest child went down and got some more sweet relish from the pantry. We're also adding just a little bit of salt, and then we get this all mixed up. And that does it for week 6 of the 3 Rivers Challenge. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.